Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show. Hey, everybody, it's the Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show coming at you, previously recorded from the Buxty Hootie Studios. And boy, am I glad to be back down here in the studios, enjoying my time with you fine folks. That is correct. I took the week off last week, which I said I was. For the 4th of July, mainly because, I party all weekend. Last thing you want to do is, talk like an idiot. Well, if you've been talking like an idiot all weekend, I guess what's another 45 minutes, right? That might be what you're asking yourself. Well, Jesus, what, talk like an idiot for another 45 minutes? Well, here's the deal. I didn't want to. Here's some great advice for you fine people who like to party. My great uncle once told me after a wedding, the morning after a wedding, um, he said, Jay Ken, if you get all pissed up and the next day nobody is talking to you and they all look angry, then you know you had a good time. Words to live by. Words to live by. This week's topic of the week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right into it. This week's topic of the week is envy. That's right, envy. This week I was thinking to myself about, now I'm not talking about like being envious of a person because they're good at basketball or because they have washboard abs or because they're banging the head cheerleader. I mean, that is stuff to be envious about, especially the third one there. But I was thinking, I caught myself being envious of people lately for like weird, unusual things, like things that you wouldn't really think about. Here, I'm so sorry there. I'm trying to adjust my volume. I'm trying to get this louder for you fine folks, and without blowing my eardrums out. Anyway, enviness. So I made a list, and by the way, when you guys are listening to this, I would love to hear. And here's the thing, I actually really would love to hear what your opinions are. Now, I'm not saying like, when you see these people and are like, I would love to hear about what you use for mascara. I'm not talking about that stuff. I mean, they don't care. But I'm genuinely interested because I think this is a fun topic. There's a couple things that I wrote down that that like when people do them, I just in my head I'm just extremely jealous. And there's two for sure that I've been very open about. People with fast metabolisms, you can I there's there is no room for you in my life. I can't. People with fast metabolism. As a person who really, if I look at an M&M, I can feel my heart slowing down, and I can feel the scale numbers getting larger and larger. And I don't even have to eat the damn thing. I'm just looking at it. And then there's people that eat cupcakes and donuts and cake, and um, and they're just always skinny. I remember when I was in grade school, there was a kid who was, I guess, little or whatever. Now, granted, he was short, so I mean, I don't want to be a short person, but he was little, and he would always eat like a pig. And me being a little kid, I was kind of like on the chubby side. You know what I'm saying? Wore husky jeans. That's a thing you don't hear nowadays. You don't hear husky jeans anymore. Um, as a matter of fact, last time I bought a pair of jeans, the name of the jeans, they were they were athletic, you know, because I'm not no goddamn athlete, but that's you got to make everybody happy nowadays. So, but back in my day, they didn't give a shit about making people happy. So they threw Husky right on there. You little fat ass. Wear these Husky jeans. Um, so I was always upset. Like, why does he get to eat all this crap and he never gets any? He's never fat. And I remember my teacher saying, because he has a fast metabolism. And that was the day that I learned about metabolism, and I immediately just was so pissed off that I was not blessed with a fast metabolism. And from that day on, I really always just had an envy for people with fast metabolisms. Like my brother, maybe I talked about this on the show before, but I remember when he was a little kid, he used to eat like donuts and stuff like that, and he was eating garbage, and he does to this day. Kids, his diet is it's terrible. And I always remember being a little kid being like, "Oh, I can't wait." Kind of a weird thing to say to your brother, but I just remember, he's so skinny, and I was just like, "I can't wait till you get older and you get so fat." And it never happened. It never happened. To this day, he's as skinny as a toothpick, and it just blows my mind. And what really pisses me off is that on my dad's side, mom's side too, I guess, but like really on my dad's side, my dad's one of 10 kids. He's one of 10 kids, and 9 of the 10 are, I mean, like skinny. I'm talking like almost too skinny. You know what I'm saying? And then my old man is not. He's a big boy, and I obviously take after him. And then my brother obviously got the fast metabolism genes. And can you tell that I'm a little pissed about that? Can you tell? That's what this episode's all about. It's about getting my aggression out on all these things that other people have or other people do that makes me so jealous. But don't worry, because there's a couple things on this list that I'm going to kind of pat myself on the back, and maybe people are jealous of me about. We'll see. We'll find out. Next on the list, I've talked about this before, I think. People that tan easily. Can't stand them. It's like May. The sun has hardly been out, and these people are walking around. They look like they've been on Miami Beach for 6 months, and it's like the sun hasn't even. How did you get so tan? And it's like legit. They're not tanning. It's just like I was out in the sun for a half an hour yesterday, raking the dethatch in my yard. Blah blah blah. Now I got this nice tan. It's like, suck my dick. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And me, I'm like a pasty white person, right? So if you were to look at me right now, I do have a kind of a nice tan going on, but I had to work hard at that. I have to be outside a lot. And not only that, but I got to burn. I've noticed that when I burn, which is excruciating, after I have that, and this is not something that you should follow, because obviously you don't want to get burned by the sun. But I do notice that when I get burned, then after that I get a nice tan. But for some odd reason, my mom is a good tanner. I will say my mom tans easily. I know a couple other people. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but they look like a different ethnicity. It's like, and I just wished that I had that, but I don't. Again, I take after my old man. We burn like a red lobster. And I don't think I needed to say red lobster, it'd just be lobster. I must be hungry. um, but then there's people, and this is the granddaddy of them all. Then there's people that have the fast metabolism, tan easily, and I just want to drive them over with my car. But those are the two those are the two, I guess, like, I could see a lot of people being, like, oh, jealous of people that tan easily and have fast metabolisms. There's another thing too. People with great memories, is something I'm so jealous of. I have friends that literally still remember my phone number by heart. Like, they know my phone number, even though it's in their phone. Like, I don't know any. I remember when I was a little kid, my mom and dad, we did a game where my mom and dad, I remember this like it was yesterday. They sat at the kitchen table, they had a pen and paper, and they just literally wrote down as many phone numbers as they knew by heart. And I should ask them if they remember doing this. And I'm not saying 20. I'm not saying, I'm talking like probably, I was a little kid, so maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I would think it was around like 40 to 50 phone numbers that they wrote down. You know, Billy from high school, 773, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And they knew all these numbers. I can honestly tell you that um I don't even, I have to punch in my phone number at Quick Trip. Not sponsored yet. And I have to punch in my phone number to get my rewards. And I don't, it's, well, then again, but whoever calls yourself, right? Like, really, in all honesty, why would you know your own phone number? Because you don't call yourself. Unless you lose your phone and then you grab your wife's phone and you're like, I gotta call myself because I lost my phone. But you still, you look it up in the phone book on the phone. So I don't know, but I have friends that they have these memories, like, and they remember birthdays. They'll shoot you, and I'm not even talking because it's on Facebook. I'm saying, like, they know birthdays. Like, if you were to ask them, hey, what's my birthday, right to the face, they'd be like, it is boom, boom. I can't tell you because otherwise you'll find out who I am. Um, or hey, what's Jake's phone number or birthday, and they'll be like, June 7th, 1987. Blah. And it's like, how do you remember that shit? I don't, and I wish I had that memory. Um, but I don't. My wife does tell me, like, I have a good memory, but it is selective. And I don't mean like, like, oh, I forgot to change the laundry. Well, not like that. But I mean, like I remember stuff from like a couple years ago. I remember we went to this restaurant, and she's like, I don't remember that. And I'm like, well, you don't remember? We sat over there in the corner. I had a steak, and you had fish, and you got wine, and I got a beer, and you don't remember that? We had that waiter. It was really funny, and he's like, how do you remember all this stuff? And it's like, what? But then there's other things that, like, I'll be honest with you. If you had a gun to my head, my youngest daughter's middle name, I, I would have to sit and think about it. I mean, it is my youngest daughter, but I know the middle name, for Christ's sake. Jeez, what are you think I'm serious about that? I know her middle name. Birthday, I have to really think about, but middle name, I got that down. But that's another thing I'm very extremely envious about. Great memories. So fast metabolisms, tan easily, great memories. Now here's some things that um, maybe are a little bit more odd. We'll start with probably the least odd one. Um, as you probably caught on, I like partying. I like having a good time. I like drinking some brewskis. I have some. I know people. I've been always envious of people that can party all night long, literally, all night long. Be the last ones up, and then the first ones up as well, and they don't have a hangover. People that don't get hangovers, never understood it. I've tried to read up on it. I have. I try to read up on it, like how can I get better at drinking alcohol. Almost to the point once where I was gonna be like, well, I'm gonna drink a 6 pack every day, because then I'll get better at it. I didn't do that. I realized that might start more problems. Um, so I never actually did that, but it crossed my mind. I was like, well, if I drink a 6 pack every single day, um, it will become more used to it. My body will not, feel so bad after because I'll be used to it. Um, maybe I won't get so drunk, but I did not do that. But I do have one friend in particular. I mentioned him many times on the show. And I'll just mention him again, Joe. If you're listening, hey Joe, he's a guy, man. He can party all night long. He wakes up in the morning, feels like $1,000,000. I mean, unless he's masking it, and if he does that, he should win a goddamn Oscar, because he's fooling me, man. And you don't fool the Ken man. You do not fool Jay Ken. I don't get fooled very easily. Won't get fooled again. The Who. Now these last two things are the the probably the oddest things that I'm envious about. The first one is people that can walk barefoot over anything. And what I mean by that is my feet are very tender. I walk outside, let's say to get the mail, and I gotta walk, on the concrete driveway over the the old asphalt road, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I like throwing the flip flops on, or some slippers if I have them. But I know people that can walk pretty much anywhere barefoot, and yeah, I'm extremely jealous of them. I remember one time when we were little kids. A lot of this stuff is when I was a little kid. I have these memories of when I was a little kid, witnessing this stuff, fast metabolisms, tanning easily, good memories, the phone numbers. And I remember going to Noah's Ark, not sponsored, in Wisconsin Dells. We went with another family. And I remember walking from one slide to the next slide, and we were walking on hot asphalt. And I was just like, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, 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 ooh, ah. It just hurt like hell. And I remember this other, the other family's dad was walking normal on this hot ass path. And I even asked him, I said, how are you walking on this? And he said, it doesn't bother me, I used to walking all over the place barefoot. My feet are used to it, And I've tried, in summer here, tried to get my feet accustomed to a beating where I can walk anywhere barefoot. And I've never accomplished that, but that's a goal of mine. It's a big goal to be able to walk anywhere barefoot and be like, doesn't bother me. Walk across a gravel driveway or something, and nope, it's fine. So you want to have goals in life. Does the goal have to be being a CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation? No. A goal can be something like, walking barefoot and not being in excruciating pain. It's a goal, and I'm proud to have them. Now this last one here, I know for a fact that you might not ever have thought this consciously, but I guarantee you thought of it subconsciously. And that is when, let's say you, and this is something like, maybe not in my generation anymore, but the generation before me, the Gen Xers. This skill, I feel like it was just instilled in them, and it definitely generations before. But let's say I was with my dad somewhere, and Um, we were there's a bolt, right? We're putting something together, and he would look at that nut and the bolt, and he'd be like, give me go to the toolbox there and give me a 5/8 wrench. I'll go get a 5/8 wrench, and sure shit, that was the right one. How many times you out there listening, if you went and got a wrench or a socket, and it doesn't, it's too big, too small, so you go back and you're like, God damn it, is it a 1/2 inch? Is it a 5/8? Is it a 7/16? And you're like, I'm gonna grab all three of them. You grab all three of them bastards. You walk back. You stick them on there. That's not it. That's not it. No, this metric. You know what I'm saying? And there's people out there, they look at that damn thing like my old man. Give the guy credit. Hey, I hope he's listening. I'm giving you credit here. He could look at it. He could look at that and be like, give me go get me a 7/16, or nope. Give me 4 millimeter or something. He just knew that by looking at it, and I can never, and I've practiced, trying to figure out, like, just by the eyeball, like, okay, yep, that's about. Or if you take a nut and you put it up, like a, not that kind of nut, but you take a nut or a bolt or something, and your index finger. Here's a little tidbit for you. Your index finger is pretty damn close to 3 inches long, and I believe that's everybody's. Yes, even now, I'm not talking like Andre the Giant or anybody like that, but a normal person, an ordinary average guy, your index finger is pretty close to 3 inches long, and between each knuckle is an inch. So I'd take a nut and stick it up there against my finger and be like, I'm thinking 5/8, and I practiced doing that because I always thought that was the coolest thing. Oh, sorry about that. Something turned on down here. I gotta get a new studio. Why can't you guys find me some sponsors so I can get some money, get a real studio instead of this dungy ass basement? I don't know. Do you guys even hear that in the background? Probably. Apologize about that. Hey, ordinary average guy doing an ordinary average podcast in his ordinary average basement. But hey, again, goals, right? So the fast metabolism, I've looked into it. You got to make a lot of diet changes to speed that up. Obviously, I'm not willing to do that. Tan easily. Obviously, that's just a gift from God that I did not get. But in the hangovers, I think that too is a gift. I don't think you can really. I think if you're a person with bad hangovers, you're just a person with bad hangovers. Or if you don't have hangovers, you don't have hangovers. There's concoctions out there, and yeah, it is. I don't think they work. But the walking barefoot, trying to figure out, what size wrench you need, and actually memory. I read a book about how you can improve your memory, but I forgot where I put it. And you're probably thinking, Ken, that's a terrible joke. Thing is, it's not a joke. I don't know where it is. But here's some things. Now we're going to turn the pages. Now you're probably thinking, geez, man, why are you so bitter? Why are you so pissed? I don't know. I don't know. But now we're gonna turn the pages. Now I'm gonna look in myself in the mirror and be like, you know what, man? There is some things though that you are good at, and I bet other people are envious of you, and that's me pointing in the mirror. And to me, they're envious of me. And there's two of them. And I'm really proud of these. One is backing up trailers. Yeah, you might not know it. You might not know it by looking at me, but I'm one hell of a backer upper. My wife, my old lady, when we back up the trailer in the old driveway there, she's always, ooh, she gets all hot and heavy. You know, whoa, baby, that's a one try. Wow, you backed that up. That's incredible. Say, hey, man, I'm a good backer upper. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not saying I can back up an 18 wheeler. Never tried it. Maybe one or two tries I get, I probably figure it out. But when it comes to backing up trailers, okay, campers, boats, like campers, boats, and trailers. I guess that's really all you got. I'm pretty good at it. Now you might be thinking, if you were to see my vehicle in a parking lot, you might be thinking to yourself, well, this guy's so goddamn good at backing up. Why isn't he back into a spot? And I don't do that. I don't back up into spots. I pull in. I have a theory that people that back up into spots. Here's the deal. Stop doing it. Just pull in. You know how many times when I see people backing into spots, it's like, dude, get over yourself. Jeez, we all have backup cameras. Anyone can do it. Not a big deal. Obviously, you're trying to, account for something you don't have. You have, low self-esteem. Look at me back up my big fucking truck there. It's like, okay, dude, we get it. We get it. You got a small wiener. We get it. But, so I don't, unless I need to, I'll back into a spot. But I don't see the need. I just pull in. I get out. I go do what I gotta do. I come back out, drive away. I was over the 4th of July, went golfing, and this guy comes in with this big goddamn Ford F-350, extended cab motherfucker, and he's trying to back into the spot, man, and it's taking him forever. And I'm trying to leave, and I'm watching this jackass back up. Oh no! Then he pulls forward, then he backs up, then he pulls forward. This big ass truck or whatever, And surprised he didn't have the testicles hanging from the hitch. I'm saying, and after a while, he's just like, screw it, and he parks. He gets out, walks to the bar, and he's all over the line. Oh God. This is not an unordinary opinion. This is a legit opinion that everyone has. Learn how to park. Okay? The lines are there. Stay in between the lines. Do not. I feel like the biggest jackass if I get out of my car and I'm all, over the line, to the point where I'll get back in the car, fix it. Okay? I don't park over lines. I don't do it. And if you're listening to this show, all right, if you're a fan of the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show, you're not going to park over lines either, okay? And this guy, backing in his big truck, Ford F-350, he's all over the line, says screw it. Now he's taking up 2 spots. Just pull in, dude. Just pull in. I'm off track. Oh, one other ordinary opinion I have is get out of the goddamn fast lane. Okay, if you're not going to drive fast, because I drive fast. I don't know what to tell you. I drive fast. I got 1 speed. I got 2 speeds, fast and faster. Okay, that's how I roll. And I'll tell you what, when I drive on the highway, even if I'm going fast, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the slow lane. And then when I get up to the car that I gotta pass, I turn the blinker on, sometimes 50-50. And I go into the fast lane, I go by that loser, I get back into the slow lane. I don't camp out in the fast lane, because that's not what it's for. It's a passing lane, okay? Now these people that drive in the fast lane, right? And they're going like, let's say the speed limit's 70, and they're literally going 70. It's like, I want to rear end them. I want to bump them. Like on Days of Thunder. Robin's Race and Harry, right? You guys know that movie? You guys know that movie, Days of Thunder? 1991, Tom Cruise, Robert Duvall, John C. Riley, um, Cousin Eddie, whatever his name is. They're all in the movie. It's a good movie. Nicole Kidman, looking hot. Anyway, so long story short, get out of the fast lane, learn how to park. Anyway, one other thing that I'm good at, and I'm not afraid to admit it, is that when it comes to knowing where I am, I know. Actually, okay. Oh shit! I just thought of one. I don't need GPS. I don't need it. If we're going somewhere. Now, if I've never been there before, all right, throw the GPS on. But like, let's say I'm going to Madison. Okay. I don't know where in Madison, right? But my old lady, she'd be like, "Hey, throw the GPS on." I don't need the GPS yet. Okay. I can get us to Madison, then put the GPS on. But I don't need no gosh darn GPS to get me to Madison, right? Madison, Milwaukee, the Twin Cities, Chicago. I know how to read signs, all right? I know what arrows mean. I don't need no GPS. I know so many people, like, they'll literally throw on a GPS and like come to my house, and they literally have been here like 15, 20 times, and they're still like, "What's your address again?" It's like, you were here. I don't know. I don't use GPS. I'm freaking awesome at getting around. Now, have I maybe taken the long way to get somewhere? Yeah, maybe a time or two, but I've gotten there. And when I get there, I got here with no GPS. Hey Ken, man. Hey, nice to see ya. Yeah, GPS gets you all right? I wouldn't know. Bill. I didn't use one. Another thing I'm phenomenal. Get over yourself. Is that what you're saying right now? Is that what you're saying right now into the radio? Get over yourself. I don't know what to tell you. I can back up trailers. All right. I could back up a trailer from Appleton to Madison the whole way with no GPS. I don't know what to tell you. It's a gift. Come on. It's not like I'm sitting here bragging. I can't walk barefoot. I get owies. I can back up a trailer with no GPS. That's for goddamn sure. Another thing, again, that I'm phenomenal at is oh man, if my wife was down here right now, she'd be just frickin' get over yourself. Cardinal directions. Great at cardinal directions. When I'm driving, when I'm walking, I'm not walking, driving. I know what direction I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like north. I'm going north right now. I'm going east. And when I give direction, let's say someone asks, "Hey, how do you get to the Menards?" I'll be like, "Well, you're gonna drive up to that stop sign up there, and you're gonna take you're gonna go east. You're gonna go east about 2 miles, and then you're gonna go south another mile." That's how I give directions. I don't do lefts and rights. I don't do straights and backs. I don't do that. I say east and west. And they're like, "I don't know which way is east." And it's like, look at the sun. What are you talking about? You don't know. You're a 37-year-old man. You're a 36-year-old chick. You don't know which direction is east and west? Come on, man. Look at the sun, dude. I don't know. Now, granted, in the great state of Wisconsin, we have the old Mississippi River. What am I talking about? Well, we do have that. Well, not really. Maybe it's more in Minnesota. I don't even. You look at a map, you think the Mississippi River is the border, but it's not. But I'm not for sure. If you're going through like La Crosse and stuff, you have to go into Minnesota quite a ways to get to the Mississippi River. What I don't know, and write in and tell me with an email. What I don't know is if, like down there in the southwest corner of Wisconsin, if the Mississippi River is on the border or not. I'll have to look. I'll have to look at a map. That's right, a map. I'll have to look and check that out. Anyway, we have the Lake Michigan, right? That's east. So and you just kind of like, oh yeah, Lake Michigan's that way. I got to go that way to get to Lake Michigan. So that's east. Obviously, that's west and north and south. You can figure it out. But even like Minnesota, we went to Minnesota a couple times. Or St. Louis, we were in St. Louis, which is a shithole. Just FYI, you wouldn't think it, but it is. And maybe you would think that because I was telling people like, yeah, we're taking the family to St. Louis. They're like, oh boy, murder capital of the world, and I didn't know that. I had no idea about that. I thought St. Louis was like this. I just figured St. Louis, Missouri, Midwest, the gateway to the west. I thought it was just me, this cute little city. Maybe not little, but cute, like a cute city. That's what I was like. I was totally anticipating cuteness everywhere. And it was not. It is a shithole. And if you're from St. Louis and you're listening to this, I apologize. But you moved there. You live there. That's on you. That's not on me. Okay? But even when we were in St. Louis or Twin Cities, man, I'm like, dude, all right, you want me to go west here or east? And the guy sitting next to me is like, there, take a left. I'm like, oh, jeez, the guy doesn't know the directions, So there you go. There you have it. I can get anywhere without GPS, and until I get close. Then it's like, okay, well, if I've never been there before, throw the GPS on. But other than that, I can find my way around without a GPS. I can back up a trailer, boat, camper, everything. I can do it all. And someday I'd like to give the old 18-wheeler a try because I think I'd probably be just fine at it. Probably jackknife the damn thing. Look like an idiot. In cardinal directions. But yeah, envy, man. I sometimes I just have to look in the mirror and be like, "You're good at backing up," When I think about people with fast metabolism, you're good with your north and south and east and west. But yeah, I would love to hear. I'm dead serious here. I mean, people are listening. I see the numbers. People are listening. I see the numbers. People are listening. Send the email. jkenOAG at outlook.com. What are you? What's the like? And I'm looking for weird. I'm not looking for. Oh, Billy was the star football player, and he got my sister pregnant, and then blah, blah, which it would be a weird thing to be envious about. But I'm not looking for shit like that. I'm looking for like, I'm envious of people that that can pull off belt buckle, like a cowboy belt buckle or something, That's what I'm envious about. And I am envious about people that can do that. I'm envious of people that wear cowboy hats. I can't wear a cowboy hat. I'm from Wisconsin. But like when we went down to Texas, one time, these guys are walking around with cowboy hats on, and I'm like, geez, that'd be cool. Walking around with a cowboy hat on, That'd be so dope. And yeah, envy of people that can wear cowboy hats. And when I say I mean like, if you're gonna wear a cowboy hat, you gotta be a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be from the South or something like that. You can't be just some douchebag in Wisconsin wearing a cowboy hat. It's like, get a life. Anyway, now that was the topic of the week, brought to you by unofficially by Milwaukee Tools. They make all sorts of wrenches and power tools, and they got the best batteries on the market. Unofficially. Next on the list, we're going to look at the old inbox here and see if we have any emails. And we have one. We have one email. I gave you 2 weeks, and you guys couldn't give me any emails. Let's see if we got any messages. Let's see if we have any messages. Now, what I'm saying here is I'm looking at this stuff live. I'm not. I try not to. I try not to read this stuff too much, but I'm looking at this stuff live, so it's more. So you get the real deal, right? So we got an email here from Ben. After listening to the ghost stories with Casadilla podcast, 2 questions came to mind. Will Casadilla be a permanent addition to the podcast? Also, after listening to all the ghost talk, I'm curious on your thoughts about Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot. Good question. So, Casadilla, I don't think she's going to be a permanent member of the podcast, mainly because I'm a attention whore. No, that's not it. I was thinking about that, and it's like, would it be more fun if she just came on once in a while? It was like something to look forward to, like you know, if she's on every week, then will it lose its lore? I don't know. I have no idea. But I will say it is nice having a person on with you that you can kind of talk back and forth, because it actually makes it easier. It did anyway that week. So I don't know. But your second part of the question is Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot. Here's my thoughts on that. It is funny that there's people out there that like legit believe. They're like legit. And like even like the Loch Ness Monster, I think I heard on the radio, like they spent big bucks a couple of weeks ago. They did this thing where they spent big dollars on trying to find the Loch Ness Monster, and it's like, okay, seriously. I mean, it's like that's the part of me where it's like, okay, take that money and do something useful with it. You know what I'm saying? The thing about Bigfoot is, I don't know. I mean, it could be true. Why not? You ever like drive up north, even in the north woods of Wisconsin? There's a lot of woods. And now think about going up to Canada or something, or Alaska, way up there. I mean, put it this way. If I was going to bet money in Vegas, I would probably say no, right? I would take the bet. Probably not. If I'm betting hard-earned money on it, But if all of a sudden, like, there is a Bigfoot, like, legit, like, sure enough, definitely, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think I'd be shocked. I really don't. But here's the thing about Bigfoot is, will you ever catch it? Now, you would think that, with a Bigfoot, they would multiply, and eventually you would just see one. Like, you see a bear. You don't see them a lot, but, oh my God, there's a bear, or something like that. So you would think that eventually you would see it. Now, of course, they're caught on camera, kind of fishy. I've heard stories about you hearing like a knock in the woods, knock, 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 and that's Bigfoot. It would be cool. It would be cool. But oh my God, can you imagine walking through the woods and all of a sudden this big goddamn Sasquatch comes coming after you? I'd imagine he has a big old dick. I'd have to imagine he's got this big old swinging dick, and he's coming right after you. That's what they don't show you on the pictures, This big old Sasquatch running after you all naked. Big old sausage back and forth. I mean, yeah, that'd be scary. That would be scary. But the thing too, like, here's the deal: if you're gonna dress up like a Sasquatch, let's just say you're gonna go dress up as a Sasquatch. Here's the thing. I think, it's kind of hard to say this with the whole president getting shot thing, but or Donald Trump. You notice how all the Democrats call him former President Trump, but all the Republicans say President Trump. You guys notice that? It's weird. Um, so it's kind of weird for me to say this, but I was gonna say, like, if you see a Sasquatch, you should be able to shoot. Like, that should be a thing. Like, if you're hunting and you see a Sasquatch, if it's brown, it's down. Bam, get it. And if it ends up being some idiot in a costume, well, hey, you shouldn't be doing that then. But because I think people would be too afraid to actually shoot, unless it was like legit, like coming right after you. If you just kind of see at the corner of your eye, you're not gonna start shooting. So I mean, are we gonna get this thing or not? I don't know. It'd be cool though. It would be cool. I want to live in a world where Sasquatch exists. I want to live in a world. I also want to live in a world where mammoths exist. I think that'd be kind of cool. It's too bad they went extinct. How cool would that be? You're driving on the road, all of a sudden this big old mammoth comes walking on the road. That'd be cool. What else would be cool? Mammoths, Bigfoot, all that stuff would be cool. Like if there really was like sea monsters and everything like that. I read that that dinosaurs still exist in the Amazon. They went down there and talked to some of these tribes. I don't know how they communicated with them because they probably have a different language, but they showed them pictures of skyscrapers skyscrapers. Like a picture that's everyone, like the Empire State Building. Everyone's seen it. And they're like, no, I don't know what that is. I don't, how, in their language. And then they showed them pictures of like a dinosaur, and they're like, oh yeah, they're all over, and interesting, because Amazon is probably a place that would attract dinosaurs. So yeah, maybe the world's a big place. There's a lot of areas that this stuff could live. Anyway, that's that. I want to live in a world where Sasquatch exists. I just don't think it's actually a thing. So, we have that was a message. Thank you, Ben, for sending that in. And now we have an email from one of our good friends here at the show, Dick Scratch. Funny name. He says, J. Ken, Dick Scratch here, longtime listener and admirer. Whoa, all right. Feedback on feedback. Love it. Feedback on last episode with Casadilla. Best yet. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Having her on reminded me of Robin with Howard Stern. Okay, great idea. Suggestion. Engage with her every episode. Loved her. By the way, loved your guest on politics and the Titanic, but I think that's a one and done. Move on to more OAG content. All right, okay. Bastard. Just kidding. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's going to be hard to have Casadella on because of this, the nightly routines, right? So we got to put these kids down. And really, I try to record these when we kind of like do nightly switches. So like she's up there right now with the young kids. So I come down here and do the podcast. And MJ was going to bed, and I made the comment when I was gave him a hug and kiss goodnight. And I was walking out, and my wife's like, "So what? Castilla, what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I gotta go record that podcast." And he heard that, and he's like, "What? You're doing a podcast?" Because he's been asking me was to do podcasts. And I feel like a terrible father not doing them with them. So, but I understand, you got to give the audience what they want. But I could do some podcasts with him and just between us two that he can listen to down the road when he's older and I'm long gone. That said, I have some suggestions for OAG content or topics I'd like you to discuss with Casadilla. All right, perfect. Number 1, everyday challenges. Discuss common problems and solutions faced by the average person, such as work-life balance, managing finances, or maintaining health and fitness. Well, I'm not good at any of that stuff. So but I definitely could talk about it. I mean, that's going to be a long episode. Number 2, life hacks. Share practical tips and tricks that can make daily life easier, from cooking shortcuts to organizational tips. It seems like a lot of work, but it is a good topic. I mean, these are topics that would legit get me views. Number 3, interviews with everyday heroes. Okay, feature stories of ordinary people who have done extraordinary things, highlighting their journeys and achievements. That would be again, that would get me views. These are good. These are good ones. I'll have to see if I can pull that off. Product reviews. Oh, now we're talking. Provide honest reviews of products that the average person might use, such as household gadgets, apps, or personal care items. I like that. You know what? I'm literally gonna. These are all very good ideas that I'm gonna start noting down. Personal development. Offer advice on personal growth topics like goal setting, time management, or improving relationships. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm phenomenal at goal setting. I can set goals. Can I achieve them? But I can set them with the best of them. Listener Q&A. Dude, I'm trying to do listener Q&A, and you're the only guy that emails me. Listener Q&A. Invite listeners to send in questions or topics they'd like to hear discussed and address them in episodes. Okay, again, everybody, JKENNOAG at outlook.com. Send me your questions. Send me questions, topics, anything you want me to talk about. Anything. I do not care. The worst that will happen is I'll read it and be like, I can't talk about that. And I won't talk about it. But like, seriously, anything that won't get me canceled, I'll talk about it. And someday I'll grow a pair of balls and I'll talk about that stuff too. But I have a full-time career that I really don't want to screw up. Current events. Number 7, discuss current events and how they impact the everyday person, offering relatable insights and perspectives. Yeah, I missed the boat on that one. I could have talked about Trump with the but it's getting kind of serious, you know. I gotta be, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm a smart man. I should talk about current events, hobbies and interests. Explore different hobbies and interests that ordinary people might enjoy, like gardening, DIY projects, or sports. Definitely, I'm a big woodworker. I like the idea of woodworking. I have tools. I just don't do it that much because I don't have the time. But I'm a big believer in hobbies. Number 9, budgeting and saving. Share advice on how to manage money effectively, including budgeting tips, saving strategies, and investment basics. Believe it or not, I am one hell of a budget guy. I got spreadsheets for days. Sincerely, Dick Scratch. You know, Dick Scratch, for having a name Dick Scratch, you have a very good email and very good topics. So I'm going to save this email, and I appreciate the feedback here. I'm definitely going to try to do this, and yes, I will try to get Castile on here, because she rocks, man. She's cool. You know what I'm saying? She's cool. I don't know what to tell you. She's a cool chick. Unordinary opinion of the week. Now, this might be one of those, again, where it might not be totally unordinary, but I think people are afraid to say it. If you ride your little bicycle, start obeying the street signs, okay? I am sick and tired of these people riding their bikes, you know, and they're all fit, and they got their little fast metabolisms, and they're running stop signs, you know what I'm saying? They're going through red lights, you know, and then they're waving, oh, sorry. It's like, dude, if you want to act like a car, obey the laws. And I don't know if they, like, is that a thing? Like, do they not, do the laws not, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Do they not, do you not have to follow them? I don't know. I wish I would have better, I don't have such a terrible vocabulary. Follow the laws, follow the rules. And I'll tell you one thing. If you can't ride your bike 35 miles an hour, get the hell to the side of the road so I can go by you. Okay? If you're going to ride your bike, 20 miles an hour on a 35 in the middle of the goddamn lane, I'm going to get pissed. And I know my car is stronger than your truck. Okay? Okay? I'm just telling you, get to the side of the road. All right. I'm glad they're finally making. And I'll tell another thing too. If there's a bike lane and you're not using it and you're still driving in the road, you're going down. Okay, you're going down. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We do not promote. It's promoting violence. We don't do that on the show. I just say things to get a chuckle. Yeah, you're going down. Get out of my way. It's the unordinary opinion of the week. And I have a bike. It's hanging from the ceiling in my garage. It's been there for like 4 years. I have a bike. But when I ride a bike, on those special occasions that I get my bike down and I ride it, I make it a rule of mine not to slow down traffic. Okay? I get to the side. I ride on the pan of the curb. You know what I'm saying? Go around me. That's these people. These people. They think they're better than everyone because they're not destroying the planet. Well, screw you. I need to get to the grocery store. Last thing, 56 minutes. Wow. These things really fly by. I'm not going to lie. Last thing I'm going to talk about here is the song of the week. Isn't that beautiful? It's like angels. The last couple weeks I've been going kind of, I would say more rock and roll, maybe a little bit more on the heavier side. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not the only type of music I listen to. I listen to all sorts of music. I've said that from day one. And there's a song that I found that I really enjoyed, and I listened. And I went through a phase where I would listen to it all the time. The song, and it's got a killer name. I am a sucker for cool names of songs. This song is called Postcards from Hell. Ooh. Postcards from Hell. And it's by a band named the Wood Brothers. Now, the Wood Brothers, I guess you like a folk. They're like a folk band, They sing another song called Luckiest Man. Ooh, say he's the luckiest man you've ever seen. Something like that. But anyway, so I've listened to that song a lot. But then I came across this song. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The album version of the song is okay. Yeah, I can take it or leave it. It's very, talented musicians, but they had some like distorted guitars, which I usually love, but I just didn't really care for it. But then I found an acoustic version of this song, and maybe I'll have to post it on my Facebook. But it's the Wood Brothers Postcards from Hell, and the YouTube channel is I would think it's Liveset, Liveset, but that's the one you're gonna want to listen to. That's an acoustic. The guy's got like a weird voice, but it's also beautiful. It's hard to not like Tom Petty. Like Tom Petty had a weird voice, but I wouldn't call it beautiful. This guy's got like a very distinct voice, but it's just really nice to listen to. And he plays the guitar. He's finger picking this guitar, and it's just, you just sit there and you're just like, this is so nice. And then they got harmonica. They got a stand-up bass. Those big goddamn basses that sit on the floor. Like, it's just a cello. I think the name's a cello. I think that's the actual name of it. I think. It's just so nice. It's such a nice song. And if you listen to the words, he tells a story. It's about like this old blues player, and everyone's asking him, how'd you get so good there? The old blues player. And he's like, I don't know. But he doesn't read Postcards from Hell. Ain't that cool name of the song? Postcards from Hell. Maybe I'll post this video. Not video. I'll post this podcast. I'll give it a little bit, and then I'll post this song on my Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook at the Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show on Facebook. And I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're like me, who appreciates people that plays music, right? I had a shirt one time. Tom Petty was a Tom Petty shirt. Speaking of Tom Petty, I had a shirt. And it was a guitar on it, and on it said, "Sell your computer, buy a guitar." And on that note, you guys have a Windows down, radio up type of week. All right.